Oh, yeah. Friday hits and the clock says go. The streaming ladders, I'm ready for the show. The butcher in orbit in the zone, talking about Kodi and Plex on the throne. Plex and check savings on deck. Cut that cord, no need to text. Information flying fast and free. Join us now, come and see. Save your cash, keep informed. The butcher and the open weather the storm. Cord cutters rise and take the reins. Streaming freedom, break those chains. Laughs and tips in every chat. Interactive and that's a fact. Knowledge flowing like a stream. Living the cord cutter's dream. Oh, the butcher chops it down. Open lifts it off the ground. Together bringing you the scoop. No need to jump through loops. Save your cash, keep informed. The butcher and the open weather the storm. Cord cutters rise and take the reins. Streaming freedom, break those chains. Oh, the butcher chops it down. All been lifted off the ground. Together bringing you the scoop. No need to jump through loops. Save your cash, keep informed. The butcher and all been weather the storm. Cord cutters rise and take the...
We're live.
All right.
Yes, how's everybody this afternoon? It's the evening. How's my panel doing?
Nice.
Well, okay. You just don't sound right, Todd.
I don't sound right? No.
Maybe it's just me.
Check. 1 2 1 2. Check.
Maybe you
I
turn
changed my
yourself back up. It's like volume is like lower than it was before.
Oh, what is it? Let me take a look at my setting here. Oh, hold on. There we go.
Yeah.
How about that? There we go.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, it popped over to my headset. Yeah, because I can actually hear.
No, it's still fucked up. I can hear you. Yeah.
What?
It's fucked up. I can hear you.
Yeah, no. Say it. Speak again.
It's fucked. He says it's fucked up because he can actually hear me.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey Todd,
Hey everybody.
in Europe, I don't think they advanced the clocks. They're still 4 hours behind instead of 5.
I'll just be glad when we get rid of that.
Yeah.
Lord, can we get rid of it? It's not good. It's just this time change has bothered me more than any that I can remember. I'm finally starting to get into the rhythm of getting up at my normal time.
Okay.
So I hate it, but it is what it is. Hopefully we again that's just one simple thing that I think most people want to get rid of. It's like, can we just get rid of it? I mean, we don't need a whole lot of politicians to deal with it. Just turn it off.
Right.
Oh, all right. So we got everybody on here. Hey, welcome to people. I see you've been able to throw put people over here. I see Trevor's joining us. Duffy, Willa, nice to see her over here in the side chat. Andrew and Russell, hey, what's up? Oh, Redneck, he's always going to be hanging in here with us. Always here with us. And oh, Miss Nookie, she's over there. Love to see her hanging with us. So it's awesome to have everybody with us. Mike in the house. What's up, Mike? It is always great to have everybody in here, Mr. Big H. Look at darkness. Darkness. I always think of that Eddie Murphy skit. Well, no, Dave Chappelle. Remember Dave Chappelle did that thing, and it was supposed to be Eddie Murphy and his brother, Charlie.
Charlie?
He said Charlie, and they said they used to. Dave Chappelle. It was supposed to be Rick James.
Oh, okay.
He said he called Charlie Darkness. Because
Oh,
remember, Charlie Murphy put his,
yeah.
and Dave Chappelle, that whole skit was great. I love it.
That was some good stuff.
Darkness. What's up,
Dave
Richard
Chappelle.
and Joyce?
Anytime I watch David Chappelle, I mean, I just cry. He's so freaking funny. He really is.
Great. It's great stuff. You know what we brought up the other day? And hey, we'll get on with the regular show in just a second. It's a flashback. We a Wednesday when I was out with the guys, we brought up Eddie Murphy Delirious.
That red leather.
Was there any stand-up ever as funny as that? Nothing ever has hit that mark of. I laughed when I watched Delirious. I laughed so like almost nonstop through the whole skit or the whole stand-up. So yeah, I mean, it's if you've not seen Delirious, you need to, and if you haven't seen it in a while, get back and watch it. Goonie Goo Goo, Goonie Goo Goo. She can't climb stairs, good, but I bet she climbed the hell out of a tree. It's so much stuff. I mean, this is just so. Hey, thanks for you guys watching this. If you've not watched our show before, we don't always just talk about old shit, but we will because we're old.
We're old guys.
Yeah, we're a bunch of old guys. So we'll talk about a lot of tech items, things that may impact your streaming quality as well as your streaming pocketbook or your wallet. We'll also look down the road for a lot of tech trends that may be coming or new tech products that are coming out. We look at a lot of that stuff. We are all tech nerds on the panel, so we jump around a lot of times on topics from retro gaming to streaming devices to streaming services. A lot of that stuff. The second hour of our show, we will cover. It's a movie review show, so it is the Player Pass or Pop show. And today's movie that we have to review is music by John Williams, who Beach down below. He chose that movie, so we will give our honest opinion. The guys on the panel will give their honest opinions, and hopefully, if you folks over on the side chat have watched the movie, you can chime in. We want to hear what your thoughts are, as well as if you have questions or comments as we're discussing these topics. Chime in, and we'll do our best to toss them over here on the screen so people can see what your comments about some of the things that we're talking about. What's it? Did Auburn get his arm amputated? Because it looks good. The way that you're, I think, with the way the way
the shirt is.
Well, that and you have your how
I'll
your
get rid of-
background is
I'll
blurred
get rid of
out.
the white. Let him know. Okay, I am a black man. Okay.
I gave her the appropriate answer when she asked.
Hey, I've been a black man my whole life.
I was born a poor black child.
All right.
One of the most funniest movies ever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's what Auburn has his blur screen on the back, so that sometimes will distort things a little bit. So hey, let's go ahead and jump into a topic. And usually we're drinking a little something. I'm not drinking. I've got cranberry juice because I'm old. That I'm gonna be having. And normally, whenever we use the certain term, we usually have to have a drink. So if you're watching this and you have a drink every time we say the word, you gotta have a drink.
Yep.
So, and we know what word that I'm gonna have to bring up
tonight.
I have to bring up. Wait, why isn't that? Hold on. Why didn't that?
Oh, it's going now. When you jumped out before, it took it with you.
Yeah. Because when I turned my headphones on, it messed me up. But that's all right. So
you could pull that up first. And
I was going to pull up this first.
Okay.
Well, we'll talk about that, and then we'll discuss the pros and or the things.
Okay.
So the magic word is Plex, because we know how much Auburn gets a little bit, catches wood every time we talk about Plex.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
And not so bad this time because of what's happening, you know.
yeah. So Plex announced, what was it, yesterday? The 19th. So 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago, they announced they are going to be doing a price increase. First increase they've had in, I think it said 10 years. So it has been the price, which has been normal. Normal price has been 119 US, and it has been for 10 years. And sometimes when where they would have a special, you might could catch it for what, 99 or $100
$99
on special.
Yep.
So that's been the price for 10 years. They announced that they will be going up in price due to it's been 10 years. It's unlike Netflix, who goes up every week or every year, 2 or 3 times. It feels like at least twice they go up every year. So this company has not went up, and they are going up. And when they went up, they didn't fuck around. They went up. The new price structure, starting on April 29th, they're going to go with $6.99 a month, $69.99 for the year, or a lifetime of $249. Which us on the panel, our eyeballs popped out, because you going from 119 to 249 is a huge increase. But to be fair, it's been 10 years. And so basically doubling.
But basically double. But all of us really already have our Plex Pass.
Yes, yep.
But still, like, I feel bad for anyone who's going to have to go and pay that. Not that it's worth it. I know knowing what I know about Plex, I know I would do it if I was just, if it comes that time, and if I didn't have a server, and I would have to pay it, knowing what the server will do and what's coming down the pike with them anyhow, with how the servers work.
So and again, that is a huge pick. And if like as Albert said, we all have Plex Pass, not really going to affect us because we've all had lifetimes. I've had my lifetime when it used to be $79 regular price. Back then, it was like 10 or 12 years ago, 13 years ago, when it was $79.99 is what the price was. And I bought mine way back then, and continue the same lifetime. I don't pay any more since then. So for them to jump, it is a large jump. I think for Plex Pass, I think that they're trying to discourage people to buying lifetime. I think that's why they made the price such a large jump. I from the yearly versus lifetime. Usually you see a yearly and lifetime, it might be double or a little bit more than double. I think with this, that's over 3 times. So you'd have to have it pay for 3.5 years before you hit that lifetime cost. I think that they're trying to discourage people from buying the lifetime, because lifetime is not always beneficial to a software developer, because yes, they get the money on that front end, and you think, oh, well, you had that. But if somebody, I think of myself. So I bought Plex 12 plus years ago. I paid $79.99, and I've not paid a single dime since. I've enjoyed their product, their updates. I have had it on number of different devices. I have had all the features that they come out with. I have every single thing, and guess what? They have made not one more penny off of me. And so that's where software developers, or when they do that lifetime, it's really not in their own best interest. because if a person sticks with them, it's going to cost them over the long haul. Now, granted, maybe somebody that buys it never uses it again, sure, because they're not pulling off your server, but I think I think they're trying to set that price to encourage the yearly customer or the monthly customer.
Yeah.
Because the monthly customer is $7 a month. You're like, that ain't much at all.
No.
Well, and once we know how that shit works, guys, is when we add that to our credit card or our auto draft out of our account, of our bank account, we never think about it again. It's just drawn just like it would if you had Netflix or you had a subscription to the gym or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just money coming out. You never even notice it. So
the thing with Plex is if you're going to get it and open up your own server, it's a commitment.
Yeah.
Because I know myself, I probably spend an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, messing around with my server as far as files. Aubin spends a hell of a lot more time than that a day on it.
Oh yeah.
And then other person I know who has a large collection spends even more than that.
Yep.
So it's if all you are is a casual user, all right, if you don't want a library, you just want to be friends with somebody who has a library. And if you don't want to pay the $2.49, you have Jellyfin, all right, which is free.
Yep.
Okay. And then if you just want to do it in your house for your family, there's good old Kodi.
Yep.
You can set it up so everybody can stream off of you. So watch your content. So yeah, if you want to be hosting a server so people can watch all your stuff, then yes, you need a Plex Pass. If you don't want to do that, you don't need jack shit.
Yeah.
And great. And some, so just in case we're talking on nerd shit. So some people be like, I don't know what words they're using because these are words I've never heard of. So what is Plex? So Plex is a way to categorize and to create a library of your digital content, be it pictures, TV shows, movies, or music. You can categorize and create a library of those items that you have on a computer in your home or a laptop. And it will grab the art. It grabs the details about it. So let me just use, for example, here's an example of an 8-bit Christmas. It shows you information about the ratings on it. You can go and pull up the trailer on it. Also gives you a little bit of description of the movie, as well as the actors in it and directors and stuff like that. And in one of the benefits of this is, so if I cared about Neil Patrick Harris, and I'm like, well, what other movies or TV shows that I have on my server that he is in, I can click on him and it will show me other libraries and other content that I might be able to watch that he is in. So it does a great job of creating this library that you would be able to watch in your home or remotely. That means outside of your Wi-Fi network. And as Beach says, if you have family members that you want to add to this, so maybe you have some very non-techie family members or some older family members that struggle with it, and they're basically click and it better play. That's as good as they're gonna get. If you create a Plex server, which means the content that's on there, and then you add them to your Plex server, they can just go, and if they wanted to watch 12 Years Slave, they would just click it, boom, hit play, watch it, and they're watching it. Nothing else needs to be done. So Plex is that. Now, Beach also mentioned Jellyfin. Now, Jellyfin is a fork of Plex, which means it's like a stepbrother of Plex. It was Plex at one point, and then other people that were working on this project, the Jellyfin project, said that I'm going to go a different direction than where Plex is going. So Plex has its features and software, and then Jellyfin says, well, I like where we're at right now, but I want to go a different direction now. And that's why we call it a fork. It just branches off so that the DNA is a lot the same, but it becomes a different product down the line. Jellyfin is free. Now, Jellyfin does not have all the features, the bells and whistles that Plex has. Now, can you create a library and it scan your library and you allow your family members to watch it? Sure, it does. But there's a lot of features that Plex has that Jellyfin doesn't have. I mean, there's a lot so that's what you're paying the extra for. So yes, there's a couple options there that the Plex. And so again, Plex
MB is another one.
MB is MB's another one, but it's a paid subscription.
Yeah, that's true. It is paid.
So you would pay for that. Not as pretty as Plex, not as many bells and whistles as Plex, in my opinion, but still a good software, MB. So let's go back.
And there are cracks of MB out there that we know of. Yeah. So
there is ways around some of the paid the paywall. So all right. So we've talked for 15 minutes and we haven't even talked about what other than the price going up. So the price is going up, and they're also restructuring what content and what a free user can get and use and view, and what a paid, what we call Plex Pass user, which that would be a paid subscription user, what they have. So they've kind of changed that up. So let's scroll down to one of the biggest things that they are changing, and that is called remote playback. They're going to change some of the rules that they have for remote playback. So in layman's terms, what is remote playback? Remote playback means me watching the content on a Plex server outside of the home's Wi-Fi that the server is at. So let's say I have a Plex server in my home. I can pull up my phone that may have Plex, that has Plex on it, or a tablet or a computer or whatever, and I can watch any content that's on my Plex server inside my home without having Plex Pass, without any issue. I can watch any contents on it. Everything works. If I say I want to go somewhere else, like I want to go to work and I want to access my Plex server to watch content from their Wi-Fi, now that's remote. I'm watching it remotely into my network. That's where they're going to change it up a little bit. So the easiest way to describe it is that either the person that owns the Plex server must have Plex Pass for you to have remote playback, or you have to have Plex Pass to watch stuff remotely on a Plex server. So let's say Auburn doesn't have, let's say he does not have, say Auburn does not have Plex Pass, but Beach does. Beach has it, Auburn doesn't. I don't. Let's just say I don't have it. So I could not watch content on Auburn's computer because he doesn't have it and I don't have it. Neither one of us have it. I can't watch it. But I could watch it off of Dave's with the new rules. So I could watch it because I don't have it, but he has Plex Pass. We could watch his. Now, Auburn is also able to watch off of Beach's because Beach has it. Now, Beach could watch it off of either one of us. If Auburn and I both had servers, he would be able to watch it. So hopefully that makes sense. So if you, without Plex Pass, the owner of the server that you're linking to would have to have a Plex Pass because you don't, to watch it. But if you have Plex Pass, it doesn't matter if the owner of the Plex server has Plex Pass. That make
Yeah,
I feel like
it
I'm going
makes
in
sense
circle.
to me, but it took a while to understand what was really going on here.
Yeah.
You know,
And again, this all goes in effect April 29th. So, people have time, and not everybody needs Plex Pass. We're going to talk about what some of the features of Plex Pass are, and people can decide, is it something that I need to have or not? So this is basically what it was talking about that I just described, is that remote playback with Plex Pass is that either the server owner has to have Plex Pass for remote, meaning outside the home to connect to that Plex server, or the person outside the home has to have it to connect to the Plex server who doesn't have it. They are going to offer another thing, which is called Remote Watch Pass, which means they're not going to give you a lot of the other features that Plex Pass offers, but they will offer you the ability to connect to a person that does not have Plex Pass. So let's say, I'm using the same analogy with Aubin and Beach. Beach has Plex Pass and he has a server. Aubin doesn't have Plex Pass and he has a server. If I had Remote Watch Pass, I could watch off of Aubin's because I have the Remote Watch Pass, which is going to be a smaller item, or it's going to be a less bells and whistles. It's going to be $20 a year. So if you're a person that's not caring about having a server, you don't want a big server, you're not worried about all that, but you're like, hey, I've got XYZ family members that have a Plex server and they don't have Plex Pass, but I still want to continue to watch stuff that they have granted me permission to watch, because people have to grant you permission to watch their Plex Pass.
Yeah.
You can't just watch anybody's. I would, if they didn't have a Plex Pass on their server, I would have to pay for a Remote Watch Pass, which means I would be able to connect to it. So I think this is another one of those caveats that they're hoping to pull in those people that are paying for, that don't pay for it, that are watching on a free Plex subscription. And, it's like, you don't have to pay the $70 a year, but you can pay for the $20 if you have a Plex server that you want to have access to. Another thing that they were going to also change is for any of us that have Plex Pass on our phone, there used to be, if you did, well, I don't say Plex Pass, if you wanted to watch Plex on your phone, you had to pay for the Android app. And it was like, what, $3 or $4 or?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
much.
Yeah. So if you were on an Android phone, you had to pay that $3 or $4 or $5, whatever it was, for you to have Plex on your phone so you could watch stuff. That will be removed. You're going to be able to watch items from your phone. It's going to be without a charge moving forward. So, I mean, I'm hoping that makes sense. But the biggest thing is that if you have Plex Pass, zero changes for you. Nothing. I mean, it doesn't change. It's the same shit. You're nothing for you to change. If you're a person that has had a free account and you have a server, you would be a person that needs to think about, do I need to get Plex Pass now before they go up in price? If you have your own server. If you don't have a server, I could see where most people would never need it. Because the likelihood of whoever you connect to probably has Plex Pass. So they have the paid subscription. So this is, again, we got a month, a month sorted out, but 100% you need to know, like, if you're using Plex, if you have a server, do you watch remotely? If you're only watching inside your house and you never watch it outside of your house, then no, you don't need Plex Pass, because you're not watching remotely. You're watching in your house, and that's all completely unlocked. It works fine. It only it affects if you watch outside your home or you have people outside your home watching off your server. So does that clears mud, or
yeah, that's cleared up. Hopefully, if
Uh,
it doesn't out there, let us know. You know, we'll.
Again, this all happened just 2 days ago, and it was from us. Well, we were talking about it last night after watching the movie, and then today I was reading, and then when I came home, I was reading again, and then reading through the FAQs to try to understand, wrap my head completely around, because I don't like to give out incorrect information. I mean, I'm not telling you what to buy or what not to buy, but if I'm going to give you advice, I want you to understand, what are you paying for, and do you need it? Because not everybody needs it. You know, I'm definitely not telling everyone to run out and get Plex Pass, because there's a lot of people who are never ever going to have a Plex server. They're never going to have a library of content, so it's very unlikely that they'll need it. So if they don't, then don't waste your money. I mean,
right.
So I've got another thing. I was going to pull up the. Let me stop sharing that and present the what is some of what is Plex Pass. Hey, pull that bar off there if you would, because that's gonna.
Okay.
What the hell? My damn took that headset off. My damn hair was all sticking up. All right. So this is
kind of gray there, huh?
Yeah. It's coming in. It's
coming
slowly.
in.
It's slowly. So let's go ahead and just take a look now. So people say, what's some of the pros to Plex Pass? So again, DVR recording of live TV. Now I'll say the percentages are probably pretty low. I know Auburn has this, but because I know you do.
No, because it's great, because it's like certain live things I watch, like the news, you know, and of course, you know, I'll just record it, and then so I can watch that when I'm ready, you know.
And that's recording live TV over the air.
Over the air.
This is not recording off IPTV. This is not recording streaming Netflix, or not. You're not recording he's talking about recording live TV via, most likely through an antenna, an outdoor antenna.
I use the home run box.
There you go. Yeah. So you're grabbing it over the air, free broadcast over the air, and you can record. So it does. Plex Pass does offer that.
Yeah.
Another big thing is downloads.
But also another thing, Plex Pass, Plex also offers other channels also. You know, they have a lot of channels and movies. So if you keep hearing us talk about Plex and you just don't know what it is, load it up, check it out, because there's still movies there, but you're gonna get, you know, ads and stuff. But you'll see what we're talking about, that there's so much that they're giving you. So you'll have these other TV channels that you can watch if you just load Plex up. And if you have people that, you know, that's all that they need to watch, set it up for them. You know, because it might be easier for them to use than Kodi. You know, because know people. It's
all in one menu.
It's dead. It doesn't work, and let them.
It
try
died
using
10
this.
years ago, folks. Right. 10 years ago. Nothing to see here. Move along. So another big pro to Plex Pass, and we're going through and what is in Plex Pass. We're just trying to give you what some of the items that are in there, so that you can help make yourself a better informed decision. Downloads, so you can actually allow yourself, as well as you can allow people that you add to your server, you can allow them permission to download content to their device. And this is nice. So if you have, you know, sometimes people are going to go on the road and they're like, hey, I want to put a couple movies on my phone so I can watch it. You can grant permission so the person can download the movie or TV show onto their device, and then they can have it and they can watch it when they're where they have no Wi-Fi. So that's another pro to it. The Plex amp and Plex Labs. I am a huge Plex amp fan. I love Plex amp. It is a great way to library your music and categorize it, put in genres. It grabs the art. It does a beautiful job and can create custom playlists. Now you can create your own playlist, but then it has, with Plex Pass, you can unlock these AI generated playlists. So if you're in a certain mood, it actually can, and it has a whole list of moods, and you can click on it. It'll look through your library and it will create a playlist to fit that mood or whatever. I mean, mood's just one of them. I mean, it's so many. So it can create these custom playlists that's at a click of a button. It's not like you have to go and create these lists. You can just do it, and it's simple. Some other items on here. Well, I will say show, and I didn't see it on here, TV show theme music.
Yeah.
That's another one, and it's not on this list, but
that is for pass people.
Yeah, that's what, because that was, so if you have TV shows like on your Plex, and if you stop at a TV show, the theme song will kind of play in the background as you're looking through that, which is kind of neat. Especially when you're talking those old shows, you know, Laverne and Shirley or something like that.
One of these days we have to have a thing in Player Pass about what's their favorite theme song show.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many good theme songs.
There was a lot of good ones. Yeah,
there was a lot.
Not anymore, you know. These shows today, you know, it's just like, oh, it's on. That's it, you know. They don't have time to, you know, get the gang together and make them sing a song.
Yeah, that's right. Just blast it out. So skip movies and show credits. So it has a way that you can like skip right through the credits, so it's gone. Skip the show intros. So sometimes you know that intro is going to come on every episode, and you're like, I hate to wait for that 30 seconds for that intro song to play while it's going through the cast. It has a button or a setting where I want to skip all those intros. It's gone. Some hardware acceleration, streaming, custom sharing restrictions. So it gives you more, if you have a server, you have more control about what content each person has. Now you do when you add people to your server, you do kind of choose what folders. With Plex Pass, you are able to customize it even more. It gives you more tweaking abilities to be able to do it. Bandwidth and transcoding limits. Now, Dave, I know that you run into this sometimes and if you could probably explain the transcoding, because I know that you've had issues at times with people with that.
Well, it's when you have people who want to watch a 1080 movie on their iPad, or they want to watch it on their phone, you know, and I see that, and it just drives me crazy. I mean, when I'm working on, I'll be doing something on the server, and I'll look, and I mean, it's just I don't understand it, you know, because I'm like, why is she watching that on her iPad when the freaking 75-inch TV is hanging on the wall, 10 feet away from her, you know? So, ooh.
Yeah, well, a lot of times that happens is, you know, you're not home and you're watching it on your phone because you're sitting in a doctor's office, you know? Yeah,
some people, we know somebody that watches pretty much all their stuff on the phone. And answer Art's question, yes, Plex is legal.
Yes.
Yeah, 100% legal. They don't offer any content. If you install Plex, there's no content, no anything. It's just software. It just helps to create a library. So go ahead.
but
But
yeah,
yeah.
that's my point about transcoding.
Yeah, because transcoding basically is saying, let's say that Beach has a 4K, and then but my TV only does 10, and so his computer has to shrink it down to broadcast it, to send it to that person. So it's not just taking the file and saying, oh, here you can watch this. It's saying, oh no, let me change it up and make it smaller so that you can watch it. So it's harder on the whatever server that's running it. It's extra processing power and extra shit that computer has to do to be able to watch and to transcoding. So in with Plex Pass, you can do some limits, make it to where that some people can't do it. So it just gives you some more flexibility. Early access, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we've had.
Well, another
I don't
thing,
know.
though.
Early access is.
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
another thing though that's important to know is that with these changes, what we were discussing, the transcoding, that doesn't happen without the Plex Pass. So if you don't have a Plex Pass, you won't be able to do that.
Okay.
The transcoding.
Okay. All right.
They've
I didn't
taken
realize
that away. Yeah, that they're taking away for sure.
Okay. So I was trying to find a link. I guess I can't click on this link that I have here.
Right.
Because I was going to pull up the Plex Amp into like some of the features.
Okay.
Again, with Plex Amp, it is free. You can get it with free. But if you have Plex Pass, your Plex Amp is given even more options. So it unlocks a lot of stuff. So again, you need to decide, is this, do you need to have Plex Pass or not? I think the simple answer, if someone asked me about it, is I'd say, do you have a server? Do you have a server? If you have a server, a Plex server, I think you probably need to have it if you're going to do it. If you're never going to have a Plex server, then you probably can get away without it. You probably won't have any issue.
Unless you're like a media nut that wants to hear the stuff for the music for the shows,
and not be able to just skip the
just
intro,
and not have to skip intros. That's the only reason why I could see someone saying, "Oh, well, I'll do the monthly thing with it,"
Yeah, and well, then where's why do we? What do we do here?
Did you close it? Do you want to back up or?
No, I had to put us back on the thing because
okay.
I was sharing just that one screen.
Sharing the other one.
So again, it's a thing. I think that the pricing is going to really freak people out. The big jump on pricing, but this is a quality product. If you have a server, this is quality product. This. It's hard to complain about what they give you. The updates of finding things. That's the library. They do a brilliant job on that. So,
for also what they'll their support is good. You can they're always asking see what you would want added in there. Me, of course, I'm dying for them to add karaoke files in here. Because I'd love to be able to use this for karaoke and not just music. I think that would be great because everyone could,
They've talked about that for years.
Yeah.
I mean, karaoke, I've seen discussions on their forums.
Yeah.
We've been looking into that. And again, I've had
Plex. It's just I don't want to do it myself because I could just readjust all of my files to just be MP4s, but it would just take me too much time because I have too much to try to fix like that.
All right, so let's take a look at because I knew that this was going to be a big topic for us. Because as much as all of us use it, so another huge topic this week, and this is probably the two big topics this week. We have some other things. We do have one big other thing that we'll touch on after this, but Echo is going. Amazon is changing. Starting, what was it going to be in just a couple weeks? Starting March 28th. Excuse me, that's a week. In March 28th, they're changing their terms of conditions that for you and your Echo devices that you may have around your house, that is your voice activated stuff. They did it previously, well, until next week, you could go in and say, I don't want any cloud-based saves. So meaning when it's listening to you for the keyword that it's wanting to hear, to know that you're asking it to do something, be it Amazon, be it Echo, be it PC, whatever you call it, whatever the name that you're using, it's listening for that keyword. You could turn off the setting to where that's never sent to Amazon. That's that keyword in those couple seconds after you say it, that it's never sent to Amazon. It stays just on your device. Your device listens and goes on. Starting on the 28th, and this is leading up to the Alexa Plus that is on its way. Everything that your device, when it hears that keyword, is going to be sent to their cloud processing. They claim that they'll only hold it for a short period of time, and then it is going to be purged, but it was going to be used for quality control. It was going to be used to help the product a little bit better. But starting the 28th, you cannot opt out of that content, that recording being sent to their cloud. Unless you don't want to be using it, you can turn off the voice activation. So say you have these devices and you're like, well, you know what? I don't need them. The voice activating, you can turn that off and it won't listen. And then you kind of done it. But if you want it to still be able to hear your keyword and turn on your lights or do whatever you're asking it to do, you're going to have to allow them to be able to store on the cloud any audio that they collect. And we have seen in the past where they said that some of this secure data was leaked, and employees of Amazon and whatever were able to listen in on people's recordings. Now, it's not listening live, so that's not when I'm saying the recording. So you do the keyword, you say XYZ, whatever you say, then it gets sent to the cloud and it holds it for a certain period of time to analyze and to make sure that it did the right thing. So they say that it's going to be secure and it's going to be safe. But I mean, what do you guys, this is a for people that are a little more kind of nervous about this stuff. This is another, you're not allowed to say no if you're going to have one of these, any of these devices. And some people,
I don't have any of that shit, and I will never have any of that shit. just for that reason, it's because they're listening. They're always going to be listening. So why, no, not for me.
Well, I have all these devises. I mean,
of course
you know me. We have these devices, and and how many of us have said that your phone's listening all the time, and you talk about a bunk bed, and all of a sudden you start seeing bunk bed ads, or you're talking about things. So how all this ecosystem goes together? It does. I mean, it is what it is. And you know what's funny? And when I think about some of the conspiracy kind of things, so people paid to put these listening devices in their houses. The government didn't force you to put listening devices in every one of your houses. We paid to have these listening devices. Yeah. So dangling the carrot in some of the benefits, now you're able to, you know, they actually do have ears and eyes. Because when you think about like I like, you know, with me, and I've got a couple of those shows, you know, those have cameras on it. So those technically do. So yeah, I don't know. I think that I don't know. I guess a lot of people don't care and they don't know, but I thought this was pretty interesting.
No, they don't. They don't know. They're not thinking how we're thinking about
right,
it.
right.
You know, if they knew, if they listened to us about that.
Maybe.
Stuff.
I mean, I listen to us, and I have all these devices in my house. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean,
There you go.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I mean,
true.
I look at I'm like, okay, so I like the convenience of that. I love the, you know, I can holler out and I feel like I'm talking to Hal, you know, Hal, whatever.
But then
2000.
what happens when one day someone says, oh, well, yeah, I saw that, you know, you and Blue were sitting around in house eating dinner. And you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
they're going to say, oh, yeah, I got a buddy that, you know, works for Amazon. And, you know, and we were looking through one day and, you know, looking at people's cameras.
Can happen. I mean,
it can happen. Right.
It could happen. I mean, that 100% could happen.
Then you can be walking around with the black tape, you know.
I mean, you know, maybe I'll get a call from, you know, some of the adult, you know, film companies saying they need me to, you know, to apply for some jobs. You know, you never know.
it could be a height issue too, though. You know, some of that stuff.
Well, in those movies, you can always stand on a stool. So so yeah, I mean, this is I think this is a big thing, and I don't think a lot of people are going to pay attention. And they only gave people like a week and a half. I think, let's see, 2 weeks. So it was March 14th when this is announced that in 14 days, this new policy is going to take in effect, that you're not able to opt out of cloud.
But they're going to be doing. They're using all that to do other things that, you know. Okay, you set up to say, okay, turn the lights on at 9 o'clock or whatever, and all these commands that, you know, will make your life easier. They're going to start charging people for it.
Yeah,
you know.
Well,
they've already been talking about it.
Well, yes and no. I think that I think that I think they're just selling data. I think that they sell the data.
They're selling data,
gather,
but they're gonna
get like the information they get from some of this stuff. They sell that data. So you know what I mean. It's a like I said, we're talking about products.
That's why
you telling this thing. Go ahead, Dave.
That's why Fire Sticks are so cheap. You know, they don't care about basically selling Fire Sticks at cost. What they want is the data and the ads. That's where they make their money. You know, you're the product.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
because for them to go and say, okay, well, I'm able to tell my Alexa to turn the lights on and off at from this time to that time, shut them off. They're saying, well, look, we can make money on that, you know, because they're using our server to tell it to do this stuff, you know. Yeah.
Hey, the day when I say, "Hey Alexa, go make me a sandwich," then I'll get one. You know? Until then, Alexa, fuck off.
You just need to get you a woman that's named Alexa. That's all that is. I mean, because that's, you know, making sandwiches. I thought that was a wife's job. So, I was hoping my baby heard that, because I know she. So yeah, this is going to be, I think, you know, a pretty, and I said that in all jest, folks. So don't be
we know
a hateful thing. I know. I'm just saying for the folks. I know you guys. People message. Debs, you chauvinist fucking pig. No, that's a joke between me and the wife. We make those jokes all the time. So this is just something to be aware. And again, we on this show, we're not telling you what to do. We try to inform you, give you, maybe these things slip under the radar for you, but at least you're knowledgeable of it. You have an idea. I'm going to kind of run through a few of the top. I got to run through because I know we got to hit on the one about remote. We definitely got to hit on that one.
Right.
So quickly, I'm going to kind of hit some of these topics real quick. And again, all the topics that we talk about on this show and the links that you see up here are in the show notes down below. So some of this stuff, if you want to read the topics that we talk about here, I have the URL to the content that I'm pulling from. You can read it yourself. So don't just listen to me or any of the panel and think, oh, well, they told us exactly. Don't read it for yourself. Yeah, I'm showing you where we got the information. I'm giving you the sources, and then you can go through and check it out yourself. So Google Play Store is going to do a new way of handling sideloading third-party apps. Now, in the past, sometimes you had to turn off Google Play Store to install some third-party apps. What they are going to do in the very near future is make it to where that you can temporarily pause it. So instead of you just turn it off and then it's off, they're going to give you the option of saying, hey, I want it off for 1 day or 2 days, and then, or whatever the time period is. And then after that, the Google Play Store will be turned back on like it's normal, so that, because they want that to be there to protect people from malware, viruses, and blah, 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 blah. So that is going to be a new thing. One of the other things, if you turn off Google Play, keep in mind that Google Play periodically will send a message about turning it back on. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to say accept, which means it turns it back on. So if you were a person that wanted it turned off because you have certain software that Google Play does not like, if you turn it back on, it will delete. Well, it doesn't really delete it. It hides it.
Yeah.
It makes it very difficult to access it again, because bottom line, you got to delete the app that you have, turn Google Play off, delete the app you have, go back and re-download it again and set it all back up if that was one of those softwares that doesn't like. Hey, now that we were talking about TV, we got the, and I'm over here looking at the side because UNC is playing right now, so I'm having to kind of keep my eyeball over here because we're down by 13, and I keep watching. They're up. Make that 10.
Okay.
So they're down by 10, but we're coming back. So one of the things that drives me fucking crazy when I go to someone's house, and I know the same thing with you guys, is soap opera effect turned on people's TV. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it's way too much stuff to talk about, but read the link down below to check if you have soap opera turned on your TV, because it makes your picture look like crap. It just doesn't look good, and all of us on the panel, it drives us crazy. So
no, it doesn't drive me crazy. It drives you nuts. I know.
Yeah, because it looks terrible.
It
looks fake. It looks like a soap opera.
It looks fake, but it's there's sometimes certain shows that I watch, like a lot
soap
of those
operas?
cop shows. No, cop shows. They look really different to me. I see a lot more than I normally wouldn't see, and that's why I like it on that stuff. But I change it back and forth.
Well, the only time I say that the soap opera effect, the motion smoothing, any of that, the only time I can say that it's good is if you're watching a lot of fast sports. Live sports, I can say that, yeah, you probably need to have it turned on because it just does a better job with processing. But if you have a TV, please take a look in the settings, see if you have it. And it's named different stuff. Depends on the brand of the TV. So that link is down below. Yeah. All right. Before we go to Player Pass.
Yeah.
We talked briefly about this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Microsoft is replacing remote desk app.
They're taking it away completely.
Yeah.
I'm devastated. It's the whole reason why I bought my professional versions, because I need to remote desktop to all my machines. That's what I do all day long. I don't want to get up from one machine to go to another. This is killing me. And I don't know how many of you guys out there remote desktop to your machines, so you can work on the machine just from the one machine that you sit at.
Mhm.
It's that's killing me. I don't know why they're doing this.
Yep.
Well, I could see for security wise or whatever,
Yeah.
but if I'm in my own home and I need to, talk to one machine or talk to
Well, it
different
says
machines,
it's
but
going to
even
replace.
if I went to someone else's house, I could still connect to my machine. I'm logging in, and you know what I mean, and using two-factor. So why get rid of something that's been around forever?
Well, I think that it shows in here they're going to have that new Windows app. There's going to be an app that's
Yeah.
a new one. It says the Windows app is designed for work, school accounts that helps connect with
Yeah.
what's it? Azure, which is
Azure and that
a lot of companies.
365, but
A lot
that's
of companies
crap.
use that. Yes, and
I'm
all right,
so pissed off.
why do they want you to connect to the 365?
I know. I've done everything to stay away from 365.
They
And
want
they're
the
gonna want me
money
to have to use I know. Well,
because there's this 365 is a subscription base. We just talked earlier when we were talking about Plex, and they don't want to be doing the They rather you not do the lifetime.
Yeah.
Windows is already done that. Windows is already says Windows Office. We don't really offer Office anymore. Office is now part of 365, and that is a yearly fee. Thank you very much. We'll take that and cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching every year.
Nope. I'm still
And so
staying.
now
I'm
it's going to be
still
behind
staying
a
with the older
paywall.
version. I'm staying on 17. A professional, and that's it. I refuse to go to the 365. I don't want to pay someone money each month for an app that I'm using. Like Windows, because I could create something and then now what? I can't open up my files again. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You build a database and access and I can't open it up again. No,
Yeah,
that's just wrong. That is so wrong.
Oh, my boys.
Yeah.
Down by 4. All right. Go Heels. Again, it's all about the paywall, and Microsoft is pushing, funneling everybody into the yearly, monthly paywall, whatever that may be, under the 365. And like I said, you can try to get Office. That's why I'm actually using Open Office. I don't use regular Office. I use Open Office, which is a free open source service where I can do Excel, and now probably doesn't do as much as the official Windows Office, but it does enough what I need. So I don't know if it uses Access, but
no,
I knew that you saw that and you were like, holy, when we were talking a couple weeks ago.
That's especially for any of us here that will try to help people out with stuff.
True.
Sure Windows itself has the what's that other one there?
Support.
The quick assist. Which is great, but I can't use that to connect to my machines. I can't go to someone's house and say, oh, I need a file, and I would normally just connect to my machine, use remote desktop, connect to my machine, and grab anything I need to do. It's just I just can't see why they would do something like this. It's how do you guys feel out there about it? I don't know if any of you use it.
I use AnyDesk.
Yeah,
which is free.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how I connect to my Plex server.
Yeah, I don't want to use that. I want my remote
or Team
desktop.
Viewer. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I
still
know
another.
that's another.
It's a lot of hassle.
Yeah, it's hassle to get your
AnyDesk.
stuff. Because when I remote desktop, it's just like I'm using the app to say, okay, connect to my my router and look for this machine. Even from my phone, I
Yep.
can just say, okay, connect to my computer, and that's it.
Hmm.
I have to log in to it. Windows authenticates it, and done.
Yeah. Well, so that's, I don't know. Well, there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do. I mean, you're gonna have to just try to find. I
I
don't know if
have
you
to
can
find
stick
another
with an
way.
old, unless you stick with an older version. I don't know how they'll.
No, because
How
Windows
do they?
ain't supporting. They pushed you out of 10 to go to 11.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
now they're really saying, "Oh, well, screw you."
Give me them. Give me that money. Give me that money.
Yeah,
Oh,
give me that money.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead.
Uh,
Let's
oh,
let's spin the wheel, and then we'll get over to player.
okay,
pass.
hold on. Before we get to
Was there
that,
any
hold on.
question? Was there any questions before I jump
I
over
was
here?
trying to look
I'm
that
sorry.
up, but hold on. First we do this, we do that.
I do see Art talks about that. Talking about double-edged sword. Remote desktop is the king of a tool, becoming a liability for Microsoft. That's why they're taking it off.
No.
Yeah, Jim, I'm watching. I'm sorry. I'm having to multitask.
Yeah.
In,
Okay. On the wheel, we got in green is why isn't the wheel spinning there?
'cause I
In
didn't have
green
the
we
window. The window wasn't
okay.
open for
It
me.
wasn't open. Okay. In green we have Sing Sing for Andrew. I'm in purple with the fire inside.
Also,
Dabs is
Hot
in
Wing
red.
Night.
Yeah. Dabs is in red with the electric state. Sorry. Eddie is in gray with the Great Escaper. Roger is in orange with Beetlejuice. Uh,
He will not let that
we
one
took
go.
Dave off the wheel because
that's because
too
they
many
just
of his movies. He's come up with his
said
allotment of movies
my
for the season.
yeah, my movies are too good. They said please take a break. We're tired of watching your excellent picks. You make our choices look like shit. So they took me
He
off the wheel.
gets too many plays, so.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
All right,
Okay.
so let's spin the wheel.
Spin it. Not Beetlejuice. Not Beetlejuice. Not Beetlejuice. Not Beetlejuice.
Yes, it is.
No.
No.
No,
We're
no,
going to
it's
Be
gonna
electric.
me.
be
Come on.
fucking. Oh man.
All right. Dabs gets it again.
Oh fuck.
It's the electric state.
All right. He's got electric state. So this is a new movie. Just it's only been out just a week. I've watched it. It's a Netflix movie, and I think this will lead to some good conversation. Again, I like movies that we have a little give and take. Some people like, some people don't. So I think I look forward to movies like this, and I want to see what people's take on this particular movie, because I do know that it has gotten some major hate on some of the reviews and some of the people watching it. So I'm curious to see how our panel feels, as well as the people over on the side chat that watch it. I want to hear what their reviews are for this movie. So that's what's going to be next week. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're very welcome. All right. Hey, let's let me go ahead and let's toss this over to player pass.
We have that other thing.
Oh.
Is that stuff? Is that still up there for switching over? What did we have? In 2 weeks, I completely forgot. Yeah.
I don't think.
No,
you want to mention? You want to probably mention the UFC for tomorrow before we go to
okay.
player pass.
All right, hold on a second. I have a thing after that. Yeah, I could do. Okay. Where is it? Oh, that's all the way down at the bottom. Okay. We have UFC tomorrow. It's in the UK, so all of our UK friends. I don't know where is Andrew. Hopefully he'll join us in big screen tomorrow. It's going to be early fights. They will start at there's the O2 Arena. So the prelims are at 1 p.m. Eastern, and the main card is at 4 p.m. So hopefully Andrew will be around to join us
in
in
the
the
right
big
one.
screen. Huh?
I was
Oh,
like, I
you're
pulled
not
up the
seeing-
pay-per-view from April,
Oh.
April, so that wasn't it. So
Oh
is
no,
this
you're on the Fight Pass.
So is this it's the
It-
Edwards
it's-
versus Bradley?
Yeah,
Okay.
Brady.
So that's the fight. Brady. Sorry, Brady.
22nd. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that's the thing that's going on tomorrow. So hey, let's toss us over to the Player Pass part of the show, and that's where we're going to talk about music by John Williams.
Yes.
Am I right, Alvin? Do you have anything else?
Yeah. Did
Oh,
we?
sorry.
Well, there was one thing. Because is Andrew around or not? They're not going to be around, or?
I don't think so because they're still on daylight saving.
Oh, they're still in daylight savings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right then. No, you said.
I phoned the UK this morning and I found out.
Oh, they yelled at you.
Yeah. They yelled, "Hey, you're an hour late."
Yeah. Okay. We didn't. Did you want to do those other two things that we had?
No, because we're at
Okay.
We're at 11 after.
Okay.
6, so.
All right. No
All
problem.
right. Let's toss it. Let me throw the intro.
Okay. Good.
All right, guys. Here we go for Player Pass.
All right. Why I picked this movie? Okay, I watched it the first night it came out, and I was like, I know he had done a lot of film soundtracks, but when they started spitting them out, I was like, holy hell.
Yeah.
The amount, the freaking volume of work that he has put out is freaking incredible. So I found it mind-boggling, and just being a fan of music and being a fan of movies, that I really, really enjoyed it. Last night was the 4th time I've watched this movie, and like I said, if you're a true fan of movies, then you should love watching this film. I've recommended it to anybody I know who is a fan of movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. It's a great documentary, and he's just an amazing composer. The amount of work that he has put out in his life, incredible.
And I'm gonna, as people are talking, I'm just gonna have these. I'm just gonna kind of run through where people are able to see the things that he is a composer for. Go ahead, guys. I'll get mine in a minute.
You're done, Dave?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I watched this last night with everyone. I wanted to watch it earlier because after Dave watched it the first time, he was like, you got to watch this. I'm like, yeah, I know, because I love John Williams, and then when he put it on the wheel, I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna have to watch it, so it's on the wheel, so why wait? I normally wait to try to watch it with everyone else. It was great because I've always loved John Williams because the music makes a movie. That's why when I was a kid, I loved going to the movie theater and having that cranked up and you're watching something and the music makes the movie. I don't care what anybody says.
It was like that.
Yeah.
It was like that clip they showed, the Indiana Jones clip with the
Mhm.
River Phoenix in it. How they showed it with the music and without the
Without.
music, and
Right.
how much the
Yeah,
music
yeah,
added to it. It was surprising.
Yeah.
And I'm still scrolling slowly. So I
Yeah.
mean, folks,
yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
people are looking. I'm just at 1999 at the moment. I have
Yeah.
scrolled back to 1999, and we're still moving. All right, go ahead, guys.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
The the whole Jaws thing, and the amount of work it takes when when he was just saying, okay, just finding 5 notes,
Mhm.
and to see how many different steps he had to take to show, okay, well, we're going to try this one, we're going to try that one, we're going to try that one. Amazing. Amazing.
I mean,
When you watch a movie and how they edit it together is you just can't touch it, and it's a shame that we had someone like this to make this many movies for us, and when he's gone, what are we gonna have? Because none of these kids today are could ever do this, because they think, okay, well, they're gonna all do it all in the computer or on AI. AI could never do this. What he does for us. I don't know why I just look at that side of it, but there's like I don't know what's gonna happen with movies, because it's bad enough people aren't going to theaters now anyhow.
yeah.
It's a shame. But I loved it, and that's all from me.
Yeah, well, for me, thanks, Dave, for forcing me to watch this movie. When this movie was announced, I put it on my list, but I never got around to doing it. But I did love this movie. I love the aspect. How he was inclined, to take certain risks. He took risks, but he'd always go back to correct if it was a mistake.
Yeah.
But the person that really turned me on to music in a movie was Leonard Bernstein and
Yeah.
West Side Story. That is my idol. I love that movie, and I say to myself that every composer, even if it's composing the music like orchestrally, like John Williams, or doing directed music on a movie, is a hidden actor. I consider the director or the choreography or anything like that as a hidden actor in the movie. You got to consider it. You can have a great movie, but if the sound's not there, the music's not there, the movie for me sucks. It's not because I don't really like the movie. It's because I'm not emotionally moved by the music to watch that movie. But I'm surprised how much he got into and how he developed it. And one aspect of John Williams I really liked, he dabbled in jazz. He went to jazz
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get inspiration. And he mentioned, like say Art Blakely, Oscar Peterson, the great, pianists.
That's right.
And
Yep.
he said to himself, he always tried everything out on that piano. That piano was his life. I'm assuming, if something would have happened to that piano, he wouldn't be as
Right.
good because you're taking his life away,
Right.
And I also
I
I thought he was very influenced by his father. His father was a
Mhm.
drummer, so
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming that really helped
His
him
mother
out.
was a singer.
A singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that cracked me up, and he talked about it in the movie, but I didn't realize he was talking about when he was young. If he played baseball for an hour, he had to
Right.
practice piano for a half hour.
I know,
Okay,
yes.
all right. When I was a kid, I used to have to take my piano music with me to baseball practice because I generally had piano lessons before I went to baseball practice. So I was carrying my glove and my music satchel with all my piano music for my lesson that day. So, I mean, yeah, well, he stuck with the piano and played, and I kind of quit and just dabbled.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that we all know that piano belongs in the Smithsonian P passes.
Yes.
You know.
Well, and I think look at the number: 5 Oscar wins, 216 wins, awards, and 216.
Right.
So that's going to be over everything. 393 nominations.
Wow.
Almost 400 nominations. I mean, I all right. I'll be honest. When Beach called for this, I wanted to watch it, but I didn't want to watch it. If that makes sense, I was like, I don't know. Sure, I know John Williams and documentary. It's gonna be a biography. Blah 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 blah. So the first 20 minutes, I'm gonna say I was kind of having to sit there, biography for the first 20 minutes when they're talking about his upbringing and his how his whole family was musically inclined. Everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, even his kids, all of them musically inclined,
Right.
and how he developed that, and then took it from. He was talking about TV, and then he went to the military, and then the military had a band, and how each little piece come along a little bit at a time, and once they started talking about, once we got to the 60s, I guess, and they were talking about TV shows and movies, and you guys, as I was scrolling through, I hope you looked at some of those. You're like, oh, I didn't even know Lost in Space. Didn't know he did music for that. So the library of music this man did was phenomenal. And then let's put on top of it, you say, well, he did the music for it. So, you know, he didn't just grab, hey, I like this song. I want to put the Cyndi Lauper song in there, and I'm going to grab the Barry Manilow song over here, and I'm going to grab, you know, the Bee Gees song, and they're all going to go into this movie. And that's my sound, you know, my soundtrack.
No.
Right.
No.
Nope.
He wrote the damn shit. He wrote with an orchestra. And I mean, an orchestra of, you know, I would guess, what's it look like? Was it like 50 and 60 people plus?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not a lot, not a
Yeah,
small.
and you have to write the parts for all of it.
Write it for all of them. For all of those
by
people.
hand. Okay.
Yeah.
To me, that was when my mind kind of wrapped around that he wrote it for all those. And again, scroll through those names of all those movies. And some of them he did 4 or 5 a year. You know, some years he was slow and only did 3 or 4. But there was writing the music in the music to match the music or match the movie or the show, because he did TV. There was lots of TV. And he did the latest one was the NBC intro.
Right.
So if you watch the NBC News, that intro when the NBC News is loading up, he wrote that. He wrote that.
Yeah.
So you could say, well, that's just a small thing. Well, that's just one little thing he did. And when he talked about Star Wars, never thought about it until when he was mentioning it, that he created theme music for each of the characters in the movie.
Yes.
So be it Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, they each had their own little theme music. So when the camera was showing that particular character, that music was playing for that character. So you don't even have to, after a while, you don't have to look at, you know, at the screen to know who's on the screen.
Right.
You hear it and you're like, wait, is that Obi-Wan? Oh, it is Obi-Wan. Or, oh, is that Luke Skywalker? So now, not only writing it for the whole, the scenes, the battles, the everything going on, each character has their own little song. When he was talking to this guy here who was in Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
and how he said he had his own, because he was a little kid. He was a little kid in Indiana Jones. And he said, I remember my themes. Of course, my theme music was the best theme music ever made. And he's like, and John Williams was repeating. Right. I mean, the memory that this man has.
Yep.
I mean, oh my God, his ear, his picturing the whole thing as I'm watching this, and he's looking at the movies, and he would go and just. And Steven Spielberg would be like, hey, here's this movie, and he's writing it out. And how his range, like, what was it that he did? Was it Home Alone that he did?
Home Alone.
He did Home Alone. He did Home Alone.
Right.
But he did Home Alone, and then went and did Schindler's List. It was something like that. Or
yes.
There was two movies that was.
Yeah. Home Alone and Schindler's List, both of them.
And it was like
Jurassic Park. There were 3 movies. Boom, boom, boom. He had to do.
In his switch in Schindler's List, brilliant movie. I mean, brilliant. And when I'm listening or watching the movie last night, and I'm listening to the music, and I've seen the movie probably half a dozen times, and I'm like, the music, you felt the movie because of the music. And you guys, I think you all said it with that, the not just playing music that just kind of goes along with the movie, but the music that is part of the
movie. Yep.
And made it. It's the feeling that it invoked, the sense of dread or whatever that he needed to have. And again, not on a synthesizer, not on some little computer board or sound shit like that. No, with here I got the brass, I got the drums and percussions. Holy shit! I mean, I to be honest, I have to say this guy, he's got to be filmmaker. He's got to have the biggest award. I mean, above any director, above any studio. This guy has to be seen above all that because of having the ability that he had. And again, not just grabbing music, writing the shit. And they were talking about with Star Wars and like how he created it and felt like it was going to be something. I felt like it was something special. And he said, I wanted a little bit more. And how he put that extra in how that pulled people in, when he was like the Death March, and how he plays in they do it in the the bowl,
the Hollywood Bowl,
Hollywood Bowl, and all the people from little kids to people older than me or as old as him, all there to listen to an orchestra play the music of the movies he's done that are played. That's just music, just music for movies. And I mean, everybody's excited. And when they played that from the Star Wars, when they played that in the crowd, the faces, did you see how the people lit up? Like I remember when I was a little kid and I went and saw that. Memories that this man helped create memories for millions and millions and millions of people, that when they hear a song, they remember a moment that they were at a theater and heard that music, watching a movie that this guy had wrote the music for.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh shit. That's good. So I the only thing I said at the end, I really wanted to smack Beach in the head after this. To be honest, I did. I wanted to punch him right in the mouth. But and the only reason why I wanted to punch him in the mouth is because last night my Plex server had to add about 18 movies that now I have to watch. Starting with Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I've seen dozens of times. But after watching it then like, you know, the back of your head, you're kind of thinking about, I remember that. And that feeling of when I was a little kid and I was seeing Close Encounters, when I went to the theater and saw Close Encounters, I remember being there. And that
We went to school. Everyone was singing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And last night when we're watching that, and they remember the big thing there near the end of the movie when it's in between the computer is talking to the alien spaceship, and they're talking back and forth, and they're talking so fast.
Yeah.
I got chills because I remember that feeling when I saw that. And I was like, that's so good. There was a orchestra playing that.
Yes.
That sounds stupid. You're like, oh yeah, of course they were. If you listen to that, that's an orchestra playing that. But you know what I mean? And this guy wrote it. He wrote it and then gets the orchestra to perform, which he did, you know, for the. I mean, wow. I don't think anybody can ever really truly say the impact that this guy has had in the movie industry. His impact is bigger than anybody else's. I don't care who we'd have to argue. I can't think of a single person that has a bigger impact. Director, producer, an actor.
I mean, the thing is, you can hear the song, all right, like the intro to the movie, but just by the song, you know what movie it is.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Like the Star Wars scene, Indiana Jones. You know, you're gonna know, you can know that what movie it is just by the song. So I mean, what I found was not too long ago, I was just flipping around one day because I was doing stuff and had Schindler's List playing. I was able to appreciate the music in it a lot more now after I've watched the documentary.
Yeah.
So to me, it made the movie even that much more enjoyable.
To me, it was because it was Itzhak Perlman, and I love him. And when I first heard it, I knew it was him playing because I'm such a fan of him. And I was just like, you know, it's like one of the best themes I've ever heard in anything that, you know, that could just, you know, make the hairs on your arms stand up. So good.
Well, I mean, another one funny when Spielberg was like, you know, telling him, he's like, Johnny, do the Star Wars. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. The other one is just a paying gig, you know. Do the Star Wars. That's going to be fun. You know, I don't know who this George Lucas is. I never heard of him before. Sorry, I never watched American Graffiti. But Steven says he's a good filmmaker, and this ought to be fun. So that's the one I took. So and then there we go. I mean, to me, it's hard to imagine Star Wars without John Williams' music.
Yeah.
I mean, they go hand in hand with each other.
Like Jaws is the same thing.
Yeah.
The music from Jaws.
Well, when he was talking about, he came up with that doon. He came up with that. He says because they were saying, and they said that the shark sucked. He says, we really didn't have much of a shark because it was really bad. He says, but Johnny was able to create the feeling of the shark, of the dread, the anticipation. He created it. He goes, not us, you know, because we had really bad robotics, but the dun. If that plays anywhere, you hear those few immediately. You know what it is. You're like, oh, well, that's Jaws. I mean, so again, you could get a kid in high school right now. They hear that, they know what it is, and you're talking. So what's that been? 50 years?
Yeah,
or close to.
Close to
50 years. And again, it's who else can do that? I mean, who else? And he when he would talk about how he created it, but he was just kind of nonchalant and actually sold himself short a lot of times. Because remember when Steven Spielberg had to come, and I don't remember what movie it was for. And it was Steven and Steven's wife had to come over because he said, Johnny said, come on over to the house. I think I've got the music for whatever. And then she
That was for Schindler's.
and then she said, we came up there and we're standing around the piano, and she goes, Johnny, as he always say, you know, I'm not a very good piano player, but I'm going to try to play this out and see if you can picture where I'm going with this, but I'm not really good. And she goes, he's brilliant. You know, and then he's playing and she says, you know, 10 seconds into the song that he had just composed for Schindler's List, she's crying. And Steven says, my wife is crying. And 10 seconds later, I'm crying. And 10 more seconds, you know, Johnny's crying. Because of the feeling that it had invoked from a minute's worth of music.
Yeah.
Again, nothing to see on the screen. Just playing it of this is where I'm kind of thinking we need to go. And this is it was I don't know, when we were watching that last night there in big screen, I got chills so many times on some of those movies because a kid of the 70s, I've seen so many of those movies. And
that was the only place we could watch it.
True.
Know?
Yeah. Agree. 100%. And as Eddie had said, him having those jazz influences and actually writing, he actually has albums. They had jazz albums that he has. If you go back to the 60s, that he released it before he got really big into the movies. He created albums. And how he used that into these movies and like Catch You Again and it having that little jazzy feel. And it's like, holy shit. I mean, there's so many movies I want to watch. And I said it last night when we were on there. This reminds me of the movie that Ed suggested us to watch a few years back, which was 6 Feet from Stardom?
20 feet from Stardom.
Yeah.
So you remember that, which was a brilliant documentary that was about backup singers that have been these backup singers and how they influence music. And Eddie had us watch that. And again, it was another one of those movies you did. I'm sorry. So and I was like, well, and we watched it. And then I went back and I started listening to the Rolling Stones, where he's the backup singer. And I started listening to this song with the backup. And I started listening to all these songs and having an ear for the backup singers that we don't really think about. But without the backup singers, the song is flat. And so this is the same thing. So this to me did the same thing. It really made me say, I want to watch that movie again with an ear to the music, thinking about it, music, and thinking about what he's done and what he's did to make me feel something, to adds to the movie. And again, like I said, I added a bunch of movies because I'm like, oh, I wanted to do it. And I mean, he did. You could go through this list. There are some movies you're like, I never heard of that movie. Yeah, some of them are small, but then we get Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones. Now this is a young one. This was like a second. This was the TV show, but Indiana Jones. We got Home Alone, JFK, Hook. I saw Born on the 4th of July, Nixon, Lincoln, Superman, Empire of the Sun. These are, if you've not seen some of these movies.
Well, I mean, if you look there, you see right there, 87, Witches of Eastwick, Superman, Empire of the Sun, Jaws.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So he had, you're right. Because he did Star Tours, which I guess that was a short. It said a short.
It's a short.
Star Shores. He did Amazing
Bears.
Stories, which was a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Witches of Eastwick, yeah. Superman 4, Empire of the Sun, Jaws, Indiana Jones in Revenge. Well, that's a video game. That was a video game. But
yeah, video
still,
game.
but when
But I mean,
wrote
it's
him,
just incredible the amazing the volume of his.
Yep. Catalog.
Yeah.
I was hoping that when they were showing the credits at the end, they were going to show the books for all of his music books, but they didn't. You know.
well, they showed some, but how could
They
Yeah,
showed some, but I know how could
300
they?
movies,
Right?
300
Yeah,
books.
they'd be there forever.
But John, I think he had two loves in his life. One was music, and the other one was his wife. And when his wife passed away, he had like a tear in his eye
Yeah.
because he had 2 kids to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But that didn't defer him away from his music. He went back to his first love of music, and he produced even better things.
Yeah.
right.
But it was just what I really found amazing was the relationship, the friendship him and Spielberg have together. Those two are basically attached to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it also goes to show you both Lucas and Spielberg, their depth of knowledge in movie soundtracks themselves, because you know they're pulling up stuff and suggestions and rattling off how Spielberg was talking about how even when they showed J.J. Abrams was talking about their collection of so real true filmmakers, they know how important it is nowadays. Newer movies that are cheaper, instead of getting a composer, they're just pulling songs out and putting it in there because it's a hell of a lot cheaper than getting somebody to write the original music and hiring an orchestra than
right.
And also, it's easier in a way because most of the time they're using songs that we already know. Right. So when you throw that in there, of course the song hits because I remember that song.
So think about it. And so think about if John Williams would have done, the Avengers. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It would be a completely different movie. Yeah. It would be a Star Wars.
Well, I mean, the good thing about last night was that was the most Harry Potter Aubin's ever watched.
Yeah.
When they were showing the clips of him working with the Harry Potter, that's the most Aubin's ever seen a Harry Potter.
Yep.
But I've heard the music before because I have all of John Williams works on disc. And then I would sit and just listen to that stuff because it's really good,
Jamie didn't do the music, the soundtrack for Scarface, and we could have killed two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Yep. But also he had a lot of well-known musicians playing with him on. Yo-Yo Man, I really love this guy. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That guy can play.
Yep.
So I mean that was like when they Perlman, he's like, when are you gonna put movie? When are you gonna put me in one of your movies? Songs or whatever. So he calls up, shares the list. I gotta think about it. So his wife is like, it's Spielberg, it's John Williams. What's there to think about?
Yeah.
So I called him the next day. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's
that was a good one, Dave.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'll probably watch it again next time I'm bored.
Okay, so enough stroking your fucking ego. So let me back out of here. We can. Damn it, there it is. I'm like, I went so far I couldn't never get back to the main screen. So I didn't know what because I can't see the screen when when people are commenting? Did you people on the side have a lot to say?
A lot of people said they liked it.
All right. So, well, I'm not going to vote because I won't vote on Telegram. I should have, but then
Go
basketball
vote on
games
Telegram. That's where it counts.
Hey, hold on a second. My boys lost.
On the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
line, not the
yeah.
second line.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little bit distraught right now. I don't know if I can finish the show. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it now. Player pass. This is the part of the show that we do player pass. So play means you would recommend this to somebody or you would watch it again. Pass is that, you know what, you hope that your curtains were drawn when you were watching that pile of shit and you give it a big pass. So so we're gonna go play or pass. Thank you guys over in the side chat for starting and tossing out your thoughts. Eddie, what are you thinking for music by John Williams? Play or pass?
Yes, it's going to be a super play.
Super play. Beach, since you're to his left for me, what do you think?
It's a play.
It's a play for you. It's a play for you. Mr. Alvin, what are you thinking? Play or pass for music by John Williams?
Play all day.
Yeah.
And we should be doing more documentaries because there's a lot of them out there that are really good. You know, I do play a lot of them in big screen, but you know, Todd doesn't like either. He doesn't like reading anything on screen. And
That's true.
He didn't even want documentaries on the show. He would sit there and complain at us. Oh, documentary.
I can't help it. If I could, you know, the captain of this ship says he's not really a fan of documentaries. So, but you know what? They slipped in here. So
yeah, we flip them in. That's what only thing we could do.
Hey, put it this way: the only reason this is in there because there has not been anything that I've seen that is better than this documentary. You know, regular movie wise.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's why I got put on the wheel, because when my shit kept getting picked, I'm like, fuck, there's nothing decent out there to replace it with. So, screw it. That's why it ended up there. And I was surprised a lot of you know, you guys hadn't watched it. So that's why it got put on there. But
for me, for music by John Williams, I give it a play. As soon as it was over, and I came upstairs last night because I watched it with just you guys, and I told the wife, I said, "You got to see this." You know, she is the movie buff that she is.
Yeah.
I said, "You'll be grinning from ear to ear watching this." Because you know, I know how much she loves good film, and this documentary done so well, and I said, we got to watch it. And she's like, okay, don't tell me no more because I want it to be, you know.
Just make sure she votes
surprise.
After she watches it.
All you have to do is go up and tell her, honey, you got to watch this movie. It's a Dave pick. Enough said.
Okay. All right. So, Alvin, what's our voting in Telegram, please?
12 to 0.
100%.
Yep.
No play.
Well,
100%, Dave.
Yeah.
100 fucking
Put
percent.
it this way, I'm sure Mr. Williams will love it when he collects the Poppy for best documentary.
Yeah.
This award season.
Can we get him to
coming
come
up.
on the show?
There you go.
Can we get John Williams to come on to accept
the
his award on the
That's
show?
right. The Poppy Award will fit nicely right there between all his Oscars.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, let's just put it out there. I hope that he watches this and sees what our thoughts are on this particular movie, and maybe he will come on our Poppy if he wins. Now he might not win for documentary. There's a chance that something else may slide in that'd be a little bit better. Just saying. So yeah, 100% for a play for music by John Williams. We can't give it any more of a. I mean, the enough hand jobs on this. Okay, guys. All right. So, so that's what we got for this. And usually this is where we open up the floor for you to toss out, or the panel to toss out suggestions for TV shows or some things that you have found that you would want to recommend for people to check out. So we'll open the floor.
I just have one quick one on that note of stuff to check out or to know about. The show SWAT has been canceled again for the third time.
Wait,
CBS. Yeah, they canceled it a third time. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully people will, complain again, and they might bring it back, but who knows? Because they want to get rid of SWAT, but they still keep the Equalizer on there. I can't stand that one. Oh my gosh.
No. I mean,
so
I don't
bad.
know.
It's
They're
so
checking
bad.
boxes on that because
Yeah.
it's not. It's not good.
It's so bad. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah. I've seen like 2 episodes, and I was like, "That's enough."
Mhm.
That's enough.
Oh, it's bad. I watch it because it's so bad.
No,
Saying like, how can you?
it's
how
so
much
bad.
worse? It's so
gotta
bad.
watch
It's like how much more can you do to ruin the show? It's so bad that I write.
How bad is
I
it?
write about the episodes in IMDb. That's how bad it is. Okay, me of all people.
You
That's
dog
how
on it?
bad it is. Huh?
Do you dog on it? You're
Oh,
giving
yeah.
honest opinion.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's just like I don't get it, and they keep that show on the TV. I don't get it. All right, what else we got here? It's so bad. It is.
Well, new season of Gangs of London dropped.
Yes.
Yeah, today.
Yes. I haven't watched it. I saw that it.
Yep.
Gangs of London. I was looking at
Anybody get into watching Adolescence?
I have not watched it, but people are talking about it.
There's a lot of critics on this movie. It was a TV miniseries.
Yeah, it's a mini. It's like 6 episodes, 5 or 6 episodes, I think. So I was like, I gotta watch that.
Adolescence. I can't believe Adolescence isn't on the front page there. I would have thought for sure. Gangs of London. So Gangs of London. The second season has. Third season.
Third season. Okay.
Third season.
Yeah.
So third season, 1 episode is out. So
Yeah.
No, all episodes are out.
All episodes dropped.
what?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they all dropped.
Yeah.
Oh.
They all dropped the other day.
Okay, cool. All right. So all episodes. All right. So, and great show if you don't mind some of the violence.
Mm.
It's not for the weak.
No.
Not for the weak folks to watch. It's a brutal show. So if you're into that,
I love it.
So yeah, I've watched the other seasons. I will watch them. There was another, and I saw it on here for you folks that are into anime, which my wife is. And thanks to one of the students that I work with, Solo Leveling. Very good anime. Actually, it actually even held my attention, and I went back and told the wife. She had watched all the episodes at that point, and I said, "You know what? I was thinking maybe I'd like to watch that too." You do? Well, come on, sit down. We're going to start at episode number 1. I was like, all right, we're going to start on this. So if you in anime, to me, I'm not a big anime fan, but I will say that it's good. Not easy to find in Kodi with dubbed. Crunchyroll has most, up until the last couple episodes, are all dubbed. So through Kodi or some of those other ways, you may find it difficult to find dubbed versions. But Crunchyroll is pretty cheap. I think even for us, it's like $7 a month. So she went ahead and got it because it has so much anime.
Okay.
So, you know, and you can, the good thing about with Crunchyroll, you actually can share it on 2 different homes. So you can split the cost of it and get it down to $4 a month. And again, for that niche, you know, anime is hard to get good quality and a good variety of it. You can find it in add-ons and APKs. Not easy to find. I mean, it's very hit and miss. So with Crunchyroll, if you're into that kind of stuff, it's available at a very good price. I mean, like I said, I think it's $8 a month, and if you share it with somebody, split the cost, you're down to $4 or $5 a month. Not a bad price.
All right. Andrew sent me a message saying he's got to be up early for work, so he won't be on.
Oh,
But he said, I give this biography a play. Really amazing how many huge themes John Williams composed. He basically composed the soundtrack to my childhood.
Yeah.
Great. 100%. Yeah. I mean, how many people's childhood? I mean, our childhood.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it. Andrew's a hell of he was born in 82, the year I graduated high school. Okay. So, I mean, I remember John Williams. Okay. Star Wars was already out by then. Jaws was already out by then.
Yep.
Close Encounters of it was out by then. So, yeah, all those huge things.
So we need to know if he watched those. You know.
Oh well, I guarantee you watched Star Wars.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know about. I don't.
Close Encounters.
Close Encounters, mate.
E.T.
That. I bet you E.T. because that was kind of a kids, even past us. That was still, you know, a lot of kids were still watching. I bet you never watched Close Encounters though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I bet you let a kid watch Jaws now. They'd probably be okay to the part where they actually showed the shark, and they would be, oh my God, look at that shark. It's basically like us when we were kids, and we would see like the stop motion of monsters and stuff, you know, going, oh my God, how bad is that? You know, but the technology from when
77
Jaws in the 70s to when they did Jurassic Parks with CGI, the dinosaurs, how much had changed by then. So I mean,
look how lucky we are. We've gone through it all. You know.
Yeah, and again, when like I said earlier about that little boom 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 boom. Tell me your heart doesn't pick up. Even we watched now. Jaws is in the wife's top 15, top 20 movies of all time. Might be in her top 10. It is like up there. And we have to watch it every couple years. Got to watch it. Even as cheesy as, like you said,
does she go through all of them now?
No, because she said it took a hard drop. It dropped off hard.
Oh yeah, but you still got to watch it.
No, it's so bad. She doesn't have to go through all of them because
and it was funny because you saw that Williams
good.
only did the first 3 and that was it. Yeah. After 3 he stopped, you know.
Yeah, he went back and watched and like, you know, this is beating a dead horse here. So yeah, it's not good at all on some of those when you get to some of those really crappy movies. What about Daredevil? Now I know that's getting a lot of I know the wife is she has not started the new season. Now I know she really enjoyed Daredevil from previous seasons and all. But this is this is a new Daredevil though.
The new one.
Yeah. Oh, so this is I was thinking it was like a a continuation of the old
No,
Daredevil?
this is a new Daredevil.
So completely okay, but it's getting a lot of chatter from people in our groups that seem to really enjoy it.
I think Daredevil was ruined for me the day Affleck played it. You know what I mean? I just couldn't get back into it. You know, I got to try with this series one here, maybe.
Yeah, I might.
But Affleck ruined that movie for me.
Anybody started watching The Residents?
The Residents.
It's
Oh, is that
it's a TV
comedy
Hospital?
or comedy one?
No, it's not. It's about who killed the president. It's a TV miniseries.
The Residents.
The Residents.
That's just like the other one we just watched. They killed the president.
You mean Paradise?
Yeah, Paradise. Yeah.
It's similar to that,
Okay.
but it's a little bit more intense.
The Resident. Okay.
Residents.
Residents.
Okay.
DENC.
ENCE.
There.
This one?
Yes.
Not even seen it on the radar. You watching? You and Alban? You guys be watching some shit I ain't never heard of. This looks like a yeah. Is that serious though?
Yeah, I think so.
It looks like a reminded me of that
Movie
reality
Clue.
show. What was that reality show that?
Yeah, it is. So it's been already dropped. That's got what's her name? He's really good. What's her name?
No, not watch that.
Yeah,
I don't know
out.
that. I don't know, Ed.
What I like about it is because it's a TV miniseries. You don't have to wait for the next season. That's what I like.
True. Yeah. Limited series kind of drops
That's
it all
a
at one time.
UK thinking.
Yeah.
that UK
No.
thinking.
Okay, we'll do it. Wrap it up in one season. That's it.
Yeah.
All over. That's all done. 1923. That's dropped. The new season of that. I have.
It's
I will
more
watch
soap opera than ever.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, 1923.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh. It's like a new episode. When a new episode comes out, I watch it, and then it feels like I need to cleanse myself after watching it because I watched it.
Yeah. I need to take a shower.
Ugh.
That's too bad. All right.
Did anyone catch up on Reacher?
Yes, we've watched. I think we've watched quite a few episodes. I don't know if I don't think we're completely caught up. I think
the thing is, one
episode
episode
5.
left. I think. Oh, okay.
I think we're on 5 because that looks this one, or we're on 5 or 6. It's. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's to me, it's as good as the other ones, the other seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing new in this.
Well,
it's you know what I mean. It's the same feel. It's the same feel. So if you enjoy the other feel, you know, it's going to be the same thing, and but it's not bad. I mean, it's still good show, and I like him. I like him acting in this. You know, I mean, I'm enjoying it. We'll finish up the episodes here before long.
Yeah. If there's anything else that
I don't remember.
Oh, you know what we have to still talk about? That whole track thing.
Well, it's track light.
Yeah, the light.
So
I didn't like it.
Yeah, Track Lite though, it's not a different subscription or anything like that. It's a different way of looking at your tracked lists. So I'm on Track Lite here. Let me click this, and now you can see it's got a different look. I think it's designed to be for like phones and stuff.
Okay.
So it makes it easy to scroll through. You know, I can just.
But you can't add it to a list.
No,
so what good is it then? You know what I mean?
No, it's for it. But
because what I'm
people that
saying
are
is the
making
whole
all these
purpose
lists.
of trackers. It's like, okay, well, you're basically saying, okay, I'm opening up Track because I'm looking for a movie or found a movie, and then normally, what Track normally does is say, okay, you know, you look this up. Now, what do you want to do with it? Do you want to say, oh, that movie sucks, or do you want to say, oh, add it to my list so I can watch it when I get home?
Yeah. Again, this is an Android app, and I haven't installed it on my phone. I've got the full version.
Yeah, but when I updated my Track, it updated to the Track Lite from the old version.
Let me
on my phone.
Oh, well, let me see if it.
Mine says try Lite. Hold on a second. Mine says try Lite. So I'm gonna click it. But now wait, it says join, so it didn't carry my cookie over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was just signed into my Tracked account, and I hit Lite. Why didn't it join Tracked for free? I don't. Okay, so now it's a loop. I'm back to where I got to join.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, because when I hit clack, it actually opens up a web browser. Because when I click try Lite, it actually takes me to Track Lite semicolon home, part of Track TV. But you know what I mean? I'm not. So this must be. So it's a web browser. So it's like going to a web browser. But it's weird. I mean, if you're gonna have the Track Lite, why wouldn't you have had it to where I'm already logged in?
There wasn't a Track app before.
Well, there is. I have the Tracked app. I got it right there. I got the Tracked app. Because you can do, like you said, I can add things.
You can add things,
When people say, "Hey, I watched this new movie," and I go, click, oh, there's that movie. Add it to my collections or my watch list or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna have to play with that one, Eddie, and see, because it opens up a web browser. But then, because I'm a VIP for Track, so
me too,
and I'm logged in on I'm logged in, and hold on a second. Let me go this way. So I'm gonna go into Track TV through my browser. There's Lite. Let me click that because maybe it was trying to open up Chrome.
Okay.
Join Track.
Yeah.
Come on now. I mean, the API is the same. The API that it's Tracked API. Why is it that they've not linked their own API to their own add-on or their own?
Wait, there goes a sign in.
When I hit join, it just loops me right back to the same page.
No, below that there's a
click
join
that.
now.
Yeah, click that. See what you get.
It goes back.
I got the same page. So
it just loops around.
It's fucked up. All right, so Track Lite's fucked. But to me, it looks like it's just it's an easy way for a browser, phone, tablet to scroll through stuff. Now, hopefully, I mean, I don't mind it being in a different layout. That's fine with me, as long as I can click on something and say, "Boom! I want to add it to a list." Now, you do see here. All right, so Track Lite is linking me to Prime Video to watch.
Right.
So I would assume that let's
And
let
you
me
don't
look to
have a
see if it's
Plex
all
one there?
right. What's a Disney? Daredevil's Disney, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Stream on Disney.
Mhm.
So this interface is to try to be like Plex when we talk
We'll
about
do
it,
like
to
with
be
Plex.
that portal, to be the portal
Mm-hmm.
that here's a whole bunch of shows and movies, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a cool show. Hey, I want to watch that. Hey, this is where you watch it. Click here. It'll take you to the app,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and you can log in, or if you're not, then maybe I'll buy.
Mhm.
Because watch.
But
I
now
click,
I'm waiting to see now what does Plex gonna do now if it's gonna say, okay, well, it sees that it's on Hulu or whatever,
Mhm.
or if you have it on your own stuff already.
Yeah,
Is
it
it still
offers
gonna
both.
try to force you? Yeah, it offers both, but
It
is
offers
it
both.
gonna go to Hulu first? And
Usually, it's
another
just
thing
those
that I
boxes.
noticed in Tracked lately was trying to look at certain movies. You see, like they have movies up there that I never even seen before, and I go to click on the trailer, and the trailer keeps jumping back at me like, oh well, it's not in your country. The
Oh,
trailer, but it's an American movie.
so it's
Yeah,
pulling. Yeah.
yeah. So it's really
So they've got
weird.
it. That has to do again with another API issue. So
Yeah.
that's where they don't have the permission through the API. The API is not pulling the
Mhm.
right country because
Not pulling the right
it
country.
should when you ask for something like that, a service like this should download the API for YouTube for your country, and then yes, you would see your country.
Mhm.
Just like it happens to me because I'm not in the US, and there's
Right.
times where I'll click a video and it says, "Oh, this content is not available in your
Not
country,"
available in
because
your
I'm
country.
not in the US. So, but you being in the US, you should be able to see that content.
Right.
Yeah, but Dabs, if I just went to a Google Play Store, and if you put in Track TV app or Track, it'll always revert back to Track Lite.
Well, see, when
That's
I
how
look
that's
at
on
my
the
track,
phone.
on my track, I got it right here, bro. And
Yeah.
this is
Mhm.
you can see it. This is regular tracked. Now, if I
Yeah.
hit that button at the top, it
Mhm.
opens
Yeah.
the
Whichever
browser.
opens up the browser.
Right.
Because at the bottom I can see my face,
Right.
the home, TV, me, and then here's the show. So for me, it's
Well, I always
it's
got
the regular app.
well, I always got mine because I got a notice to update Track, so I updated it and they give me Track Lite on my phone.
Mhm.
Let me look. Let me go right now.
But when you try opening it, Eddie, what happens? The
It
track
opens up
light,
like this, like
you
what's
know,
on the screen.
it opens up that up. Okay.
Okay. So, well, see, I don't know. Mine's I just went to Google Play and I don't have any updates. So
No.
maybe mine's coming. A lot of times they don't come out to everywhere. All right,
Yeah.
let's get going, boys. We're at 7:15.
Yeah.
7:15. It's past our bedtime.
Thanks.
So I know it's past Eddie's bedtime. Let's see. Beach, anything you want to say before we go?
Nope. See y'all next week.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Eddie?
Thanks, Dave. You really made the show today.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Quit
one.
patting him on the fucking back. All right.
Well, you need a raise. I'm giving him a raise.
I give him a raise.
Thank you, Ed. At least somebody around here appreciates me.
Man. All right, people. Thanks so much. There's UFC tomorrow, like we said, and we'll see you guys next week with Dab's movie, The Electric State.
Electric State.
Yeah.
Thanks for you guys all watching, and again, it's an honor to have we're still at 35 people hanging with us live for 2 hours and 15 minutes. So it is an honor for you guys to hang with us live to watch this shit and us talk about tech stuff as well as movies. And again, Dave, thanks for giving us a good movie, and don't expect any more thank yous on that. And again, like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Curtains falling on the screen. Hope you laughed and learned a bit. Have some fun and skip routine. Time to close this crazy shit. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. But it's time to say goodbye. Through the streams and download set. But now it's time for us to fly. Information, picked up tips and tricks to enjoy. But now we leave this online station. It's time to pack up every toy. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. But it's time for us to fly. Through the streams and download set, you can kiss my ass goodbye.